What's going on, everybody? It's Tyler with Tyler Talks Travel Trailers here at Albuquerque RV in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And today we are going to tour a 2026 Grand Surveyor 205 RLBS. So there's three levels to the Surveyor lineup. You got the Camp Series, you got the Surveyor Legend, and then you got the Grand Surveyor. The Legend and the Grand are very similar. The Camp Series is a little more basic, so it won't have some features like the vacuum system, the tank heaters, a little less solar, but you're still getting that good construction. But today, we're going to see the tip-top, the luxurious Grand Surveyor. This thing has opposing slides, so it has plenty of room in the kitchen and living area. The bedroom has a slide, so if you're wanting to go on long extended trips, you could easily stay in this thing for a long time. This thing is easily nicer than my last apartment, and I'm not exaggerating. So very nice, luxurious, a lot of seating, a lot of counter space. You guys are gonna love this. Real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to two of my subscribers that left a 5-star review on our Google reviews for the dealership and I. We got Norman, thank you Norman, and this person, I don't know his name, but I know him because he's very cool. He's always on the lives, leaving positive feedback. Great guy, love this guy. His name goes by DRGIL65. So thank you both, Norman, DRGIL65, for the positive Google reviews. If you think I deserve it and you've gotten some benefit out of my videos, there'll be a link down below in the description. If you click it, it'll go to the dealership's Google reviews. If you could leave a 5-star review, it goes a long way. We are between two big corporate, giant dealerships, and we are a locally owned dealership, so it goes a long way. You have no idea how much it helps me and the dealership. So if you have the time and you think I deserve it, only if I deserve it, there'll be that link down below to leave a Google review. So first, like always, we're gonna do the specs. It takes me 1 minute to do those specs, and then we'll dive inside. Let's go, guys. So the basic specs on this 2026 Grand Surveyor 305 RLBS. Your unloaded vehicle weight is 8,908 pounds. Your cargo carrying capacity is 1,500 pounds, which brings your potential fully loaded weight to 10,408 pounds. Your hitch weight is 935 pounds. Your exterior length is 38 feet 10 inches total. Your exterior height is 11 feet 5 inches. Your exterior width is 8 feet. Your tanks, your fresh water tank is 40 gallons. Your gray water tank is 60 gallons. And your black tank is 30 gallons. Your awning sizes are 16 feet and 11 feet. Let's jump inside. All right, everybody, now that we got those specs done, we will start with the inside and work our way out. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm going to be talking a lot about features and benefits. I'm going to be talking about construction as well as giving you measurements. I try to give you as much info as I possibly can, and I figure once you're sick of listening to me, you can just shut me off. So let's go inside. 305 RLBS, one of the nicest Surveyors I think they make. This thing, ooh. I love my Flagstaff, but I think this interior blows a lot of the Flagstaff interiors out of the water. Look at this. Woo, holy smokes. So like I said, you got opposing slides on both sides, one on this side and then one on that side. So you got tons of floor space in this living room area. We're gonna jump right in because this is probably gonna be a little longer than normal just because of the size of this unit. Over here, in this kitchen area, you got tons of cabinet space, counter space, some floating shelves. This counter space right here is going to be 23 by 59. 23 by 59, and then from the countertop to these cabinets and shelves, you got 19 inches. The reason I'm giving you that is because you got 2 plugs on both sides, so if you want to put a Keurig coffee pot, I'd imagine you got 19 inches right here. You could easily fit it. So you could make a nice little coffee bar right there. Love that. Up above, you got some cabinet space. Maybe put your mugs in here. These are going to be 12 by 26. Top one is 12, or bottom one's 12 inches tall. Top one's going to be 14 inches tall. And then really nice cabinetry. You got that glass inlay, hidden hinges, raised beveled edge. You got the gold accented handles. I'm telling you, Surveyor, Nobo, all these brands, they have the best interior color schemes. You could even hang your mugs right here. You got these nice floating shelves. It has that distressed wood look. Just really feng shui, as they say. So 12 by 32 is going to be both of these floating shelves. So they're not shallow. They go back pretty far. They're deep floating shelves. 12 by 32. Down below, lots of drawers for your utensils. I can't tell you how often these companies don't give you enough drawers. 11 by 16 and 3 inches deep for all 6 of those. So they're not super deep, but they made up for it by giving you 6 of them. Over here to the left, you got another area. Maybe you could store some of your appliances in here. This is going to be 21.5 by 25.5 and 15 inches tall. So that is fantastic storage right there. If you look down here, nice spot for this feature. Look at this. Check this out. Woo, boy. So, you know that dust that is just that little dust that you can't seem to get up? You also have you have all your attachments. I forgot to bring them out, but it's like you got your long hoses like a normal vacuum, and then you'll put it right here. Bam! That thing has got some suction. So it's in a very good space by the door. You know, people coming in and out, keep this area clean, even in the kitchen area. It's always nice to have this where the slides are too, because the last thing you want is rocks to get stuck under the slide. You will tear your floor. So I really like this vacuum system because you can go along the slide and make sure you got all those rocks up. That will only run if you are hooked up to a generator or shore power. A little random area right here, maybe some spices. I'm not sure what you'd put there. So right off the bat, tons of storage right there. Sorry if I'm sniffling a bunch. Got a runny nose for some reason. Probably the nicest island I've seen in a tow behind. It's got race car underglow. How cool is that? And it's, what do they call it? Butcher block. So you got a wood island. Look how good that is. It looks so good. Nice big island. You even have like a little, it comes off right here. So if you wanted to work here, you could. You also have a plug right here. So if you want to bring, you know, the blender out or anything, you could set it right here. This island is pretty big. It is going to be 22.5 by 60, the whole thing. So if you have the sink top cover on, it's gonna be 22.5 by 60. Now, if you take this sink cover off, also a cutting board, this area from here to there is going to be 22.5 by 33. So plenty of counter space as well to the right of the sink if you want to put, you know, a drying rack or anything. Maybe you're even getting some food prepped. But this is a nice little cutting board right here. I probably wouldn't use it just because it looks so good with that island. You could put this over here. Everything has a nice place for it. And then you got a nice big undermount sink, stainless steel sink. And this is going to be 12 by 20 and 6 inches deep. So it is big enough to clean pots and pans. A customer mentioned that to me and I never thought of it. She's told me that her sink is so small, she wasn't able to clean her pots and pans. So you will be able to clean pots and pans. It is big enough. Nice gold accented faucet. You have 2 options. You have the waterfall spout right here, or if you need to get nice and deep into those dishes, you can bring this down and spray stuff off. Down below, you do have some storage. Might be a little too small for like a trash can. So you might have to put the trash can to the left of this, or maybe even under here might be a good spot because it's not showing as much. So maybe that's where you put the trash can, but this area would be a little too small for the trash can. This is gonna be 20 by 42, this one and this one. The top one's 11 inches to the sink and the bottom one is 19 inches to the next cabinet. It's a nice place to put your soap, dish soap, all that good stuff to clean with. Now, talking about the space you have right here. So if someone's cooking, maybe someone's doing dishes, 2 people in this area, you got 2 feet 8 inches from the island to the stove. So not bad. I think most people, you know, you'll be able to fit 2 people in this area and utilize the kitchen at the same time. Right here, like I said, this is all one slide out. If you notice, it is the tried and true rack and pinion slide system. So there is no lip or step up in that kitchen area. A lot of times you have like a step up and it's really annoying to cook. So rack and pinion slide system on this one and the one behind me. Over here you got your 10 cubic foot 12 volt refrigerator, which I love. They cool extremely fast. I'm talking 10 to 15 minutes. You'll feel them get cold versus the gas electric that you have to turn on the night before. Deep freezer as well, deeper fridge because there's no metal coils back there like you would normally have on the gas electric. So you get a much more efficient fridge and a bigger one as well. Moving on over here to the left, you got your 3 burner cooktop, and all of this serves as prep space as well. Maybe you're making sandwiches, you could use this top as prep space. With the stove top down, this whole area right here is going to be 23.5 by 37.5. When you're ready to use this stove top, flip this bad boy back, and then you got your backsplash right there and your 3 burner cooktop. This side right here, if you're using the stove, is going to be 13.5 by 23.5. So decent amount of room if you got some vegetables cut up, chicken or whatever, you have a place to do that and then put it into the pan. Then down below you do have your fancy dancy lights right there, and then decent size oven. Probably fit a full size turkey in there, not a small turkey. It will come down another level if you want. So nice big oven. Man, my nose is runny. Then when you're done, flip this back over. You also have your knife holder right here, and then your little grease cup that says Surveyor. Just the little details. You even got a bottle opener for those cold snacks. I always say it, Surveyor has the best logo. They make really cool hats. Like the logo is so cool looking on the hats, I wear it even not at work. So shout out to Surveyor's logo designer, graphic designer. Over here to the left, you do have conveniently placed drawers again. They're not super big, but it's nice that they're right next to the stove when you're cooking. These are going to be 7.5 by 16.5 and 3 inches deep for all 4 of those right there. Did not measure that one, but maybe you could put some pots and pans in there. It's not super deep. Maybe about 12 inches, 13 inches deep. And you got your standard microwave. It is not a convection or air fryer because you do have the oven down below. Pretty standard. You do have your light fan combo, so when you burn stuff, all the smoke will go out. Little area right here, not super big. Probably the best place for your bowls and plates is going to be that one over there that I showed you, because this one's going to be 11.5 by 16 and 15 inches tall. Lots of great lighting throughout, even on that side. So you can actually see what you're doing in here. Overall, what do you think of that kitchen? Doesn't that look unreal? Like if I just came down a little bit like this, you would think this is a house. It's beautiful. Over here behind me, oh, actually, I forgot to show you the most important thing. The pantry for all of your snacks. So nice big pantry, no shortage of storage for those snacks. And it's got that automatic light floor to ceiling storage. You can't remove these like on some trailers, but really great storage. This is going to be 20 by 40 or 20 by 24.5. So you can see it doesn't come all the way to the door. So I measured this area 20 by 24.5 for each one of those. And then your top one is 24 inches tall, middle one is 22 inches tall, and then the bottom one is 26 inches tall. Perfect for all those snacks. Look at how good that looks. The attention to detail on the interior of Surveyors is just amazing. It looks so good. Now, turning you around nice and slow. This is going to be your other slide. It is the same size, same slide system, and nice and flush with the floor. You do have your 4-seater dinette, and you're probably like, what the heck? I only see 2 chairs. I will show you that here in a bit. But everything matches. You got your wood grain look to your tabletop as well. The table itself is going to be 26 by 38. So definitely big enough. Like I say, if you want to ruin some relationships, you can pull out the Monopoly board game and get 4 people around here, and I will show you how you could do that here in a bit. Right now it is just set up for 2, and if you notice, there is no way to crack your knee against a pole. So I love these tables because it's all open. You don't have those annoying poles that you're going to be hitting against your knee. It doesn't turn into a bed or anything, but you do have another bed option. Over here, you got the comfy theater seating. How nice is that? Someone told me those look like graham crackers. Kind of does. So theater seating right here. I did measure these. They always measure like things that you can't sit on. It drives me nuts. So I actually measured the armrest to the armrest, give you a better idea of the size. 4 feet 3 inches or 51 inches from armrest to armrest. That is the real size of the couch. I'm not measuring the armrest because obviously you're not going to sit on it. 4 feet 3 inches. And then if you want to, you got your charging pad so you can put your phone there and charge stuff. Or I love that they put this up. If you want to get nice and cozy and cuddle up with your significant other, you can put that middle piece up. You do have your cup holders right here. And it doesn't look like they massage or anything like that. I'm not really crazy about the massaging chairs. They just vibrate you to death. They don't really do anything. So, nice and comfy. And then you do have, let me pull this back. Nice and comfortable, perfectly positioned but in front of that TV. How beautiful is that entertainment area right there? And turn you around. And as you can see, they do lean back pretty far. So if someone had to sleep here, they could, no problem. So that'll be your theater seating. Turn you around and grab this. You do have a really nice TV that it is coming with. So this is, that looks like a 50-inch, I believe. So nice big TV. And it's got all the apps ready to go, as you can see on your remote. And it does pull out. And it's that smart remote. Look how cool that is. It moves. So you could pull that out, swivel it this way, swivel it towards the kitchen if you wanted to. Nice big TV right there for you. Over here to the left, you do have an opportunity to sleep people if you have, you know, grandchild or the occasional guest. It's very easy. If I have time, I'll pull it out. But you just pull it and it lays flat. It's like a tri-fold sofa. And I measured it for you. So this couch is 49 inches from armrest to armrest. When you pull the bed out, you got 49 by 72. So you could fit someone that's 6 foot on this bed. So you could easily sleep an adult. It's not one of those really small beds. If I have time before we go outside, I will pull it out for you. So 49 by 72 when that couch is pulled into a bed. 49 inches from armrest to armrest. As you see, you got your cup holders for those cold snacks. You got an end table right here. Nice big one. So if you're hanging out, you got a place to maybe set a plate or something. 14 by 28 for those end tables that are the same on both sides, as well as storage down below. That's going to be 12.5 by 26 and 16.5 inches tall. That will be on the other side as well. You got plug on this side. Let's see if you got one on the other side. Very nice. Equal plugs on both sides. So even if you're sitting over here, you can utilize the plugs if someone wants to sit back and, you know, work on their computer or tablet, whatever they want to do. Now, showing you this entertainment area. Whew, this fireplace is roasting me out. It was 56 degrees in here, and I kept the door open because it was getting so hot. Look at what it brought this temperature to. 76 degrees, and I'm already getting kind of sweaty. I'm sweating in places I don't want to. That thing will heat this area. I didn't think it would. Nice thing about that is if you're at a campground, you got hookups, might as well use their electricity, and you can conserve propane. I can confidently say this thing will heat this area. I tested it this morning. It was 56 degrees, and like you just saw, I got it up to whatever I said it was, 70 something. And I'm actually going to turn it off because it is freaking hot. So we'll put it just on the nice ambiance mode, and you could change the colors. How cool is that? So if you wanted to, like I'm doing right now, you could just turn it off, but still have the ambiance going. You do have a little drawer here. I did not measure that. Not super big. There's another one in the bedroom that looks just like that. And then some more storage maybe for your DVDs, entertainment purposes. If you wanted to, you could probably put a sound bar right here as well. Love this natural wood look that they put throughout it. You know, they don't just stop in the kitchen. They put that same style throughout the whole trailer, and it just looks fantastic. As you can see, you do have an ottoman right here. It's also a coffee table, so if you want to take this off. Another cool thing is, let's see if I can get this up with one hand. See this cushion right here? You take this cushion out, bring this whole ottoman over to the table area. You put that cushion right here, and then slide the ottoman in there, and then put this chair on that side, and then you got yourself a 4-seater dinette. How cool is that? You can utilize it in a lot of different ways. Coffee table, just a normal ottoman, or you could bring it over here and use it to make a 4-seater dinette, as well as storage in there. So love that they did that for you, just to give you an opportunity to kind of shift this thing around and use it as you have guests or anything like that. Or if you just want to use it as a nice coffee table. But how good does that living area look? So cozy. You got the lights, the accented lighting. It's a nice lighting too. It's not tacky. Like, you know, sometimes they do that neon blue for the accented lighting. I just think it looks really tacky. I love that Surveyor puts that nice soft glow, makes it feel cozy in here. It's even a little softer than what you're seeing on camera. It's super cozy in here. Turn this light on real quick. One thing I love about this floor plan, it's a give and take. So you did lose some storage up above, but look at how massive these windows are. How cool is that? So you're kicking back. Hopefully the view's a little better than that. You're in here having dinner, looking out. Maybe you're on the Oregon coast. I always say Oregon because I love Oregon so much. Looking out onto the coast, maybe the redwood forest. Massive windows on this slide out. They do not open, but these two on the slides will open to get a nice cross breeze going. I think I would prefer to have the bigger windows than the storage, honestly, because it's just awesome to have those big windows. You do have storage up here. So like, that's what I meant. Over here on the slide, sometimes they put that cabinetry, and then you don't have as big of windows. So this is also nice maybe for board games, books, things like that. It goes all the way across wall to wall. That storage is gonna be 13 by 93 and 11 inches tall for that storage up above, with another massive window. So just imagine the view you're gonna see with all of these windows open. It is so cool. And they're all on the campsite, which you want, because obviously you wanna see the campsite. On the driver's side, no windows, which I don't think is a big deal, you know, just because the main thing you want is all the campsite windows. Just awesome. So you do have 3 air conditioners in this thing. I believe this is an 18,000 BTU air conditioner. And then you have a 13.5 and then another 13.5 in the bedroom. You probably will not need to run all 3 air conditioners. That is more than enough. I didn't even know they had 18,000 BTU air conditioners, so that is pretty incredible. So 3 air conditioners. Now talking about the interior height that you have in this trailer. From the floor to the ceiling, you got 6 feet 10 inches. That is huge. Flagstaffs, usually you got 6 feet 8 inches. So these are much higher interior, like you got a lot more interior height in this unit. 82 inches of height or 6 feet 10 inches. That's considered like an upgrade for a Flagstaff. They have a new trailer where they have higher ceilings. That's what it is. So you do feel like, it almost feels like a fifth wheel. So not claustrophobic at all. 8 foot wide with 6 foot 10 inches of interior height. Woo, boy. All right, let's move on to the bathroom. Spacious bathroom. We'll get into the control panel and all that. Let's keep moving. Love the pocket door. Gives you a lot more space. Lots of room in here. Like I always tell you, get on that toilet. Make sure it's comfortable. It is a porcelain toilet. It is not plastic, so it'll stay cleaner. Also a little more sturdy. You know, you won't hear creaks and cracks when you're sitting on it. So from the toilet seat to the cabinet up there, you got 28 inches. So plenty of knee room. Like I said, I'm 5'7". I could literally stretch my legs all the way out, turn you around. Plenty of room. You're not gonna have any issues if you're right-handed. Whoa, 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 whoa. Left-handed. Whoa, bam. Plenty of room. If you want to do that wide swoop, you got plenty of room. So most people are gonna be pretty comfortable in this. Down below this floor space from the toilet around, you got 28 by 32 of floor space, so you can get out, dry off, actually have room in here to change if you would want. 28 by 32. Over here, you got storage down below. Did not measure that. And then more storage down there. It's actually really deep. That is a lot of storage. Would have liked to see a linen closet in here, but I take that back. When I show you the bedroom, the storage in there is insane. So, not actually, I'd rather have more room in here because of the storage in the bedroom. So, big sink. The sink is 10 by 15 roughly. I don't know how to measure a circle. I went to Albuquerque public schools. So 10 by 15, 6 inches deep. And then you got 7 inches of counter space on both sides. So plenty of counter space if you want to bring your straightener, hair dryer, things like that along. Plenty of counter space. You got your plug, as well as some floating shelves right here, maybe for your towel, your hand towel, and then your toothbrush is back here. They don't do the medicine cabinet, but I love this new glow of the mirror. Yeah. We'll talk about this here in just a sec. Now, shower is fantastic. Lots of room. Definitely bigger than what most are. And then you got this curtain right here. It's better than a shower curtain just because it won't be sticking to you. And see how it goes behind this lip too? There's no way for water to get out. It's nice. It's cocked right here. There's no way for water to get out, so you won't slip and break your neck. Let me show you that plumbing real quick. I know you guys like to see that as well. There's your plumbing for the toilet. Now, the shower pan itself is going to be 27 by 34. The interior height you have from the pan to the skylight is 6 feet 8 inches or 80 inches of room. And the skylight does give you a little extra height. So if you are 6'7", you're going to be in the Space Dome up here. If you're 6'9", I always say it, you're just too dang tall. So 6 feet 8 inches of room. I'll show you. I'm 5'7", 250 pounds of pure muscle. Just kidding. 152 pounds. Not that big. But look at this. Take a nice big step. Can do the noodle arms. Rinse off. Do what you need to do. Shower head is kind of at a small height. Actually, it's not terrible. Let me show you. 5'7". It is like right at the top of my head. So if you are taller, you're going to kind of be above it. But it is a wand, so you could take it off and kind of do what you need to do. Uh-oh. Get an antifreeze everywhere. So shower is fantastic. Lots of space in here. And then you do have an area for your towels as well as the big fart fan, baby. Woo! It's got the 4 speeds, massive blades versus those little rinky-dink blades that do absolutely nothing. This thing will pull out the condensation as well as the potential smells. But it doesn't have the rain cover. We can always add that if you wanted to. You got one duct in here for the air conditioner as well as the heater right there. Moving on, we are going to move this thing quick because this is a big trailer. Moving on to the hotel room on wheels. The suite without the bed bugs with a sliding door. All right, you got the pocket door. Gives you a lot more space than the swinging door. And wait till you see this. Oh, look at that. Woo! That is nice. You got your slide outs for your bed. This is a 66 by 80 king size bed. So usually, let me check for you. So this is considered an RV king. So usually kings are going to be 76 by 80. So this is going to be like a custom king 66 by 80. So it's still the same length, just a little bit narrower. But I promise you, it seems like it's a normal king. I like that they did the 66 because it gives you a lot more room to walk around this bed. And like I said, it is on a slide out, so you get a lot more space in here on the front of the bed if you want to change or just come in here and hang out. You don't feel cramped. On the left side of the bed, you got 15 inches. On the right side of the bed, you got 14 inches. And you got 34 inches of room right here in the front because of that slide out. It gives you a lot of extra space. Now, a lot to talk about in this room. Love it. Let me turn you. I didn't measure this storage up here. I kind of stopped measuring stuff towards the end because it was getting a little ridiculous. So, storage up above. That's great for some stuff that maybe you're not going to use every day, or if you're going on a long trip and you're going to go through different climates, you need the cold clothes and the warm clothes. Plenty of storage throughout this whole thing. You got little nightstands right here. Probably going to be a little too small for the CPAP machine. You do have a USB and USB-C on that side, and a USB and USB-C on this side. This is prepped for the inverter. So if you get the inverter, you can make some of these plugs hot to where you can use them anytime. You have a plug right here, so that might be the side you want to be if you're going to be using a CPAP machine. Plenty of windows on both sides to let in a nice cross breeze going through here. Turn you to this section right here. This wardrobe is huge. I didn't even want to measure it, so I'm sorry, guys. You would have got sick of me. Look at this. Massive. I think it goes like 33 inches back, so pretty far. It's not like a walk-in because you have this step up right here, but a nice area for the shoes. Goes all the way back. No shortage of storage. Like I said, this is a trailer to go like on a long extended trip. Nice and deep, almost 18 inches deep. This thing goes back. This one is about 13 inches, so the shelf goes back 13 inches. That one 18 inches, and then even more storage up above. Absolutely no shortage of storage. I sold this exact layout to a couple about 2 months ago, and she was a traveling nurse, and they bought it, and they love it. Plenty of storage, and the husband is like a gamer, so he loved the size of the TV you get in this floor plan. Then you got a nice little area to do your makeup, or you can even put a little computer, a laptop, whatever you want to do. It even has its own chair right here, and a mirror. Do your hair, do your makeup, get the do looking good. So I like that. They used to not do that on the 25 models. They even give you some plugs right here. So if you want to bring your hairdryer straightener like that in here. The nice thing about it is there's only one bathroom. And I don't want to say that all women do this, but you know, when women are starting to get ready, they have to do all their hair, their makeup and stuff. So at least someone, the significant other who maybe doesn't do all that, can still shower, and the significant other can have a place to get, you know, ready at the same time so you're not waiting. This table, this little desk makeup area is going to be 14 by 28. And then this top one right here is going to be 14 by 51 for that one. So I'm telling you that because if you're obnoxious like me and you want to have a big TV in the living room and the bedroom, you can put a TV here. If not, you have backer board right here where you can hang one, but it's not going to be as big. And I'm someone that bigger is better. You got your window right here that will open. And of course, another fireplace. Again, I had to turn this thing off because I got it up to 77 degrees. It's barely cooling down. It's at 71 now. This thing roasted me out. So how nice is it to have it in both areas? So if you really don't have to waste any of your propane. So you got your fireplace right there when you're all nice in here and cozy. You got 4 drawers right here. These are going to be 10 by 10 and 3 inches deep for those drawers right there. And then you got another one. This is like that one that I told you I didn't measure in the underneath the TV. 7.5 by 24 and 5 inches deep. So it's not super long, but they gave you a drawer. You can't be upset about that. Like I said, I love that they give you that wood grain throughout. They match everything. Some companies will make one area look nice and not finish the job. Over here to the left, you're probably like, well, is that all the storage? No, this is insane. Like I said, they didn't have a linen closet in the linen storage in the bathroom. Look at this. Tons of storage, floor to ceiling, baby. And you see that? Oh yeah. Washer dryer prep ready to go right there. So if you want to put a washer and dryer, you can even remove these if you really wanted to, I'd imagine, or you can get the combo where it's the dryer and the washer combo. Slide that under there, and then you have all of this for maybe like your towels, extra blankets, things like that. So each one of these shelves is 27 by 28. 27 by 28. The top one is going to be 19.5 inches tall. Middle one's 17 inches tall, and the bottom one is 44 inches tall. Just to give you an idea of space, if you want to get that washer dryer put in here. If you take the shelves out, you do get a little more room, because see how they stop right by the door? I measured to right here. If you took those shelves out, you're going to get 28 by 32 and 82 inches tall. So a lot of ways you can utilize this space. Definitely a good area for all of those towels and stuff, because like I said, there isn't one in the bathroom. And all of these sliding doors, they didn't go cheap on you. And even the detail of them, the raised beveled edge, they just finish these things off nicely. And the light turns off on its own. Love that. So all these sliding doors are also giving you a lot more space in this bedroom. What do you think? Another plug right there. Amazing. And you do got that third air conditioner. It is just a straight dump into here. That thing will freeze you out. Love it. Such a great layout. So now we'll talk about the control panel real quick. And I did tell you the room you got around the bed. Let's keep on moving. Man, if you saw, look at all these sticky notes. I need to get a sponsorship by Sticky Notes. My girlfriend, it drives her nuts when I get home and I forget them in my pocket, and then she dries stuff, and then there's clumps of sticky notes everywhere. I feel so bad. I need to get better at that. All right, I didn't miss anything in here. Do one quick walk around, and then we'll talk about the outside and some of the features. Let me show you this bed real quick, because it's real simple. I could do it fast. So you got, like I said, it's 6 feet long. Move this out of the way. It does not get any easier than this. Look. Wha-bam. What? How easy is that? Simple. So you have a grandchild that's coming to visit you because you're full-time and you're out there seeing the whole country, enjoying life, enjoying retirement, but the grandchild wants to come and visit for a little bit. Bam, pop that out, and you are ready to go. How awesome is that? So that I just show you that real quick just because it was simple. Now, moving on. This is for sure my favorite layout by Surveyor. It's beautiful. So coming over here into the bathroom, one feature I didn't talk about. You have 2 areas for your control panel. I think it's kind of weird, but whatever. I'm just the RV reviewer. You got this portion of the control panel, and then the other portion of the control panel. So right here, you got your water heater, water pump. I guess that kind of makes sense in here. Just flip a switch, it does this thing. You got all your readings. You got your plug, like I said. This is a tankless water heater, which is amazing considering the size of this unit. You are going to have hookups, so take as long of a shower as you would like. The other thing I always mention is my girlfriend loves lava for water. I'm not really into scorching my skin. So you can have different settings. You know, I have my own settings. She has her own settings. And you could shuffle through them, pick them. Pick your nice temperature of water, like Little Red Riding Hood. Is that the story? So you can have your own temperatures if you don't like lava for water and someone else does in the trailer. Right here, very important feature. If you notice, fresh, black, gray, and gray. There's 2 gray tanks, but this is your heated holding tanks. This is nice. So these are 12-volt heat pads. And I'm a fan of the 12-volt heat pads because if you're going down the road and let's say you're driving through Arizona and it's not freezing temps, but then you get into Colorado and it's freezing temps, you can't keep your heater running the whole time you're going down the road to keep that underbelly heated. So what are you going to do? Your tanks can't be full, or if they are, you're going to have to be stressing about it because you're going to get to your destination and your tanks are going to be frozen. I like the 12-volt heat pads because, like they imply, they're 12 volts, so you don't have to keep your heater running. And then this does have 400 watts of solar, so it'll constantly keep those batteries recharged, as well as your charge line from your tow vehicle. So going down the road comfortably with all your tanks filled, you're not going to have to worry about your tanks freezing on you because of those 12-volt heat pads. Another reason I like those is, let's say you're full timing in this thing and you're out at work, maybe you're a traveling nurse, Do you really want to have to keep your heater running the whole day? You're not in it. That is expensive to have that heater going just to keep those tanks from freezing. Let's say you go to work, all you have to do is flip those on and they'll stay on to keep your tanks from freezing. Then you get home and then you can, turn your heater on and conserve propane. So I'm a fan of the 12-volt heat pads versus the duct just going under and heating the underbelly. This will still have an enclosed and heated underbelly and those 12-volt heat pads. Huge. I don't know if you could tell, but I am sweating in here. Those fireplaces work really good. So slide outs, I don't really need to show you travel mode because when these are in, it goes to to that island. So being this size, you can never expect a travel mode trailer. It is what it is because of the size. Then on this slide, it'll come right to that cabinet right there. And then you have your 2 awnings, awning lights, porch lights, interior lights, and your fancy dancy mood lights. How annoying, watch, if we do this, all your lights off, all your lights on. How annoying would it be if you're just wanting to relax and you have your lights on and they all have to be on? Small little detail, but you can turn these off individually. Let's see? So you could turn them off individually, kind of create that mood. I know it seems like a small little dumb detail, but these are things I hear from customers when they go out and buy one and then they use it. They're like, what the heck? That's annoying. So you can turn these off individually. You got indoor and outdoor speakers. You got 2 up there, or 1 there and 1 there. So it's kind of like some surround sound going. Really great. You do have your remote for the 1 air conditioner right here for the 18,000 BTU air conditioner. It has sleep mode, all that stuff. It'll swivel like that. Pretty cool. Let's go outside, talk about some construction. This is going to be some important details. Real quick, I want to see if there's storage under here. Yep, and I forgot to measure it. Sorry, guys. I did forget to measure that. That is massive, though. That's a 50-inch box. So it's 50 inches long for sure. It's probably 50 by 50 in here. And then you got your power cord. You got a cooktop, a little table for the outside to put your grill on. Then you got your hoses for that vacuum system. And then you also got your water hose right here. So that is that table, and I'll just show you where that goes. So a little storage under there. That is actually good storage for those blankets. Those extra blankets you need to bring along. Now, going outside, as we go out, you see you got your coat hooks right here. You do have a screen door, so if you want to get a nice breeze going, have that open, you can. I will pause right here just in case I miss anything. This is a big unit, so it's probably hard to touch on everything. We are on the Grand Surveyor, so that's what you'd be getting. See how it says 200 watts of solar? I told you 400 watts. It's a limited time only, so get out here, get one while it has that extra 200 watts. And then I kind of talked about that 21-inch oven. Pretty nice. We'll talk about superior construction right now. As you can see, you got those solid steps that touch the floor, fold right in, and you can adjust the legs individually if you're on uneven surface. Starting at the front, you got your electric tongue jack. You got the really nice glow to it on the front. Even this Forest River emblem glows at night. It looks awesome. You got 20-pound propane tanks with the cover, battery disconnect right there. So when you're ready to shut this off, you just turn that. Moving on. Not a crazy amount of storage on the outside, but I did want to point this out. Do you see something? That's right. All aluminum framed. This trailer is 6-side aluminum frame, meaning the front wall, the back wall, the roof, the floor, both side walls are all aluminum. When you're out looking at trailers, ask the sales guy, is it 6-side aluminum frame? Because a lot of companies, they'll slap a sticker on the side of the trailer and say aluminum framing, and then it's mixed with wood. So just know what you're paying for, because some things, you know, they could be deceiving with the marketing and stuff like that they do. You do have electric jacks right here. So they'll hit 50 pounds of pressure and stop, so you won't over crank them. One thing I want to say though is those are just stabilizers. That just keeps the trailer from moving around when you're walking in it. Love this new bracket they're using for the griddle. It seems a little more heavy duty and safe considering you're cooking with something extremely hot. So you'll get a flat top griddle and then that little table that goes right there as well. You got your hot and cold water, that coil hose I showed you. So if you want to, if the significant other is just taking too dang long in that shower, oh my God, I'm getting attacked by a wasp. Get out of here. So if someone's taking too long, just throw them out here and have them shower right here. Hot and cold water. You got your plugs and your cable. Moving on, we'll kind of just go through this Goodyear Endurance tire as well as a tire monitoring sensor around the rim. You'll get a little thing in your vehicle screen that will let you know if your tires are getting too hot, too low. Really nice tool. TPMS Road Tech. All right, so like I said, nice and enclosed underneath, all buttoned up, and you got those tank heaters. Rack and pinion slide system, solid slides. When you go out and look at trailers, push on the slides. You'll be shocked. You could push in some of the walls. Love that they gave you 2 awnings. So one of the awnings isn't going to be taken up by the slide. So 2 separate awnings. I think I said 11 feet and 16 feet. Coming on to the back. It does not have the ladder, but it's prepped for the ladder. It'll be like a telescoping ladder that you pull up and you could store it. It's lightweight. It's pretty cool. So it'll hook on right there, prepped for the camera. And this does have a PVC roof. More reflective. It'll keep that the inside climate controlled a lot better because of the PVC roof, and no maintenance. So PVC roof up top, you got your spare tire and a receiver down here. This will hold 250 pounds. So if you want to put a bike rack or a cargo rack for extra storage, you can. You can't tandem tow with a tow behind, only fifth wheel. Slide isn't as deep to help with the weight. All your windows are tinted, which might seem like a small little detail, but some companies don't. All your utilities, black tank flush, city water, 50 amp plug, and then some storage down here. Ooh, that's not bad. This is underneath the bed. And then there is your griddle right there. So that is underneath the bed. You got your slam latches, luggage latches, and your tankless water heater right here with your potable water. Now, talking about the construction of the walls, I already told you it's 6-side aluminum frame, but there's ways you can make these walls, and the way that they do it, there's 2 ways they mainly make these walls. So it'll go fiberglass, then it'll either go Luan or Asdel, which is a composite material. Luan is just a thin sheet of wood that goes across the whole trailer. And you got to imagine what happens when wood gets wet. And where are these trailers usually at? They're outside in the elements, in the rain, year round, unless you have indoor storage. But if for some reason, maybe you weren't checking your seals, all the corners and everything, and for some reason water did get in, you'll start to notice the walls start to bubble and get wavy. You've probably seen it on older trailers out there. That is an indication that you have water damage and now the walls are separating. If they use that composite material, it is impervious to water, as they say. So it's a waterproof material. They literally stuck it in water for months and months and months until they probably just got sick of looking at it, and it did not degrade. It did not change. This trailer will have that Asdel composite outer wall. So there is no Luan on the outside wall. Very, very nice. These are also vacuum bonded walls, so you don't have to worry about air trapped in there. Much more consistent way to make these walls versus, the pinch and roll method where it's a little less consistent. So vacuum bonded walls with composite outer walls to help with any delamination issues. Woo! That was a big trailer, and I think I got it done in just amount of time. If you have seen my tours, I go extremely in depth. So I can't cover everything in this trailer because it'd be like 2 hours long. So definitely check out some of my other videos. That way you get more info on them because it would be a very long video. If you want to know where I'm located at Albuquerque RV in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Our phone number will be down below in the description. So if you call in, please just ask for Tyler, or if you put a lead in on the website, ask for Tyler. I am not a YouTuber. I'm a full-time salesperson, so you can imagine how busy I get, especially on a Saturday doing videos this long. So if you could just ask for me. We are on a rotating list. If you don't ask for me, you could end up with another sales guy. Excuse me. Also, every Sunday, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I go live with all my subscribers. It's really fun. I'm going on my 10th week of doing it, and you come on. No one will see you, but you could type out questions and get them answered instantly with me live. The other cool thing is you can say, hey, I want to see a trailer that's 5,000 pounds with bunks or no bunks, and we could tour the entire lot together and over 250 units. So everyone comes on, ask questions as you need to ask them, and I will answer them. Really fun. So we'll be on live tomorrow, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Again, thank you to the 2 subscribers that left that 5-star review. If you think I deserve it, the link will be down below to leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way. We're having a competition at the dealership, and there's like 35 employees. I think I'm second now. So if you could, only if I deserve it, leave that review. I would really appreciate it. So I hope you guys have a good evening, a good night, a good morning, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.